Hey guys, it's Rambo here. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the history of the Dead Ops Arcade 1 solo world record on Black Ops 1 Zombies. In case you didn't know, Dead Ops Arcade is an Easter egg game mode, which is a twin-stick top-down shooter and is modeled after classic games from the early 90s like Smash TV.
I'd buy that for $1.
Alright, let's get right into it. So I'll be going off of the zombierecords.com leaderboards. And wait a second. What the hell is this? I guess I'll have to go off my memory, so if I forget a notable game or two, give me a break, alright? There's some early games I'm not going to go into detail or mention really, since there's not much information on them. So we're going to start off in September 2011, alright? Justin Time got to round 95 solo in September 2011 with the Furious Feat. Justin was a maniac with the feat. Really good player who disappeared from the DOA scene altogether soon afterwards. He posted some videos about UFOs and also this video. What is this video anyways? Let's take a listen, shall we?
Because you know what? My generation is not gonna follow your filthy ways if I have anything to do about it.
Alright,
and we
enough.
are gonna stand
Cut the
on the
footage.
old.
I also think he got into MW3 multiplayer with Sport Freak 22, and they were ranked really high on those leaderboards. And they even had little DOA sessions in the back room of their office. Who knows what else went on in there?
So you're fighting zombies here now? Is this what this is?
Yeah, I'm fighting some zombies. Little arcade game I've been addicted to.
Yeah, he's got the headset on too, folks. See, he's talking to 12-year-olds right now.
Probably real scopes.
Who's the noob on dial-up?
Anywho, just a few months ago he poked his head out of the gutter one more time and asked if anyone was interested in running a DOA game with him. Well, does anyone want to? So the second game I should mention is D Frenzy's Round 96 game with the Furious Feat in November 2011. We all know Frenzy, right? This was a really impressive game, especially for the time period. And it took people a while until they beat the Crawler Arena third time around on solo, which posed really great problems for everybody. Frenzy's skills with the Furious Feat were critically acclaimed after this game, as even Mr. Beast quoted Frenzy as inspiration in his epic round 40 runs, saying, "The Furious Feat is an art, and only those who have made it far with them can understand the true beauty behind the Furious Feat. Truly profound." Well, I guess it worked for Beast, because in mid-March 2012, he managed to tie Frenzy's solo record at round 96. And if being proud about an arbitrary solo round tie wasn't bad enough, he tried claiming that he had the time record for 96, thus edging out D Frenzy. This tied record was eventually beaten by the infamous Crazy Toon 87, when he made it to round 103 later in March 2012. What's up, Justin Time? And Crazy Toon is actually a really well-rounded player, and he managed to beat round 96 with the Firepower Fate, which was quite unthinkable at the time. He uploaded a short snippet of the round 96 complete screen, where he confidently stood on the edge of the teleporter while blasting some heavy metal music in the background. Unfortunately, the audio on this video has been removed for quite some time, but to this day, some people claim that they heard faint noises of someone munching on potato chips in the background. But I digress. Oh, by the way, over the years people have asked me, how do I get better at DOA? Do you have any tips for me? And I think Madomaster said it best when he offered this advice.
Use the environment to your advantage. So such as these electrical barriers.
Burritos?
Hey guys, Madomaster here, and I wanted to clarify that I said barriers, not burritos. You stupid racist.
Crazy Toon's record was beaten a few days later by Rios in March 2012 as well. If anybody watching is unfamiliar with Rios, he's probably best known for being the lesser half of the Genetics Rios duo. Anywho, he managed to put up an impressive round 105 with the Furious Feat, which really put him on the radar as someone who could take something other than the firepower. Then he was given an opportunity to run the Furious Feat in a 4-player match with Frenzy, Bluntman, and Fatal Rampage. And the community was quickly reminded as to why he usually just stuck to the Firepower Fate. Probably the highlight of his round 105 game was ironically his demise, where he panic boosted into a doorway. It was a little embarrassing and all, but hey, a record is a record, am I right?
I'd buy that for $1.
A couple of months later, in May 2012, this record was beaten by Fatal Rampage, who got to round 128 before lagging out, or quitting, or game overing, or suspiciously falling underneath the map when he started to struggle. I don't know exactly what happened, but the main takeaway is that he got to round 128, and was the first solo player ever to beat round 120 in the process. It's also worth mentioning that he did it with the Firepower Fate. This game was slightly controversial, and by slightly I mean very much so, because Fatal openly admitted to dropping lives throughout the game. This record of 128 was eventually beaten by Wild Billnips when he got to round 142 in August 2012. Now this game was also controversial because Billy decided to use an interesting tactic of running zombies around without shooting them, better known as kiting among players nowadays. Since the rounds are time-based and there is a spawn limit to how many zombies can be in the map at once, it's pretty easy to just group them around and not have to worry about shooting them, especially when there's not many electric poles on the map. This problem also carried over to DOA 2, but several patches targeted this issue and tried to eliminate kiting. Okay, no more DOA 2, I got it. Good old Bill has all sorts of infamous games, like the one where his score barely increased between rounds 115 and 120 with the host feed, the one where he played upside down with QP Burger QP before having the biggest choke job in the history of Oklahoma. And he's also part of one of my favorite DOA clips ever. Let's watch. By the time July 2013 rolled around, somebody finally had the balls to get to round 160 solo. And that was the legendarily unfortunate recluse known as ICRR. I mean Zex Nano. I mean I use Time Warp. I mean I go flawless. I mean Xbox DOA. And I mean Cody Rex. I mean feed and gun, alright? Feed and gun. Alright? Before there was Zombies World Championship, there was the Round 80 or G-Spawn Competition Challenge on the Xbox 360 console for Dead Ops Arcade 1 on Black Ops 1, which included tons of top talent in the game like Sneasel, Relscopes, iLegit but George Cakes, Paper Deer 14, Rambo for Life, and Get Your Own Wi-Fi. Yo, solo game. What? We're not gonna talk about it. In fact, we're not gonna talk about it at all. We're gonna keep it out of here. So yeah, this was just Xbox guys having fun. And then Mr. Beast, with his pride and his ego, had to get involved and participate as well. He made it to round 158 before getting a bird flamethrower combination lag out. He said he grabbed like 17 of them, but I'm not quite sure if that adds up. Oh jeez Louise, okay, this equals 3.1. We're gonna tie that in there and put it in the calculator, make sure our I's are dotted and our T's are crossed. Okay, that equals 28 point decimal blah 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 blah. Gosh, this can't be true. Yeah, his 17 bird flamethrowers don't add up. Mr. Beast also made it to round 80 flawless this game, crushing the previous solo record of, well, nobody really knows, because people didn't make it too far in solo flawless. But don't worry, he didn't record any of the preceding rounds. Or he did record some of the rounds and he didn't want to upload them. Or he did record the rounds but the files got corrupt. I don't know, and neither did he. But this essentially started what I like to call #satisfying, my failed attempt to one-up an Xbox player, and now having to further take the spotlight via modding. So, some more guys got to round 160 in the following months and years. George got there with the feed in June 2014, and the firepower a month later in July 2014. A bunch more people also got there with the Furious feat, including Benji in May 2014, Pancakes in June 2015, Furious Feet on Fire in September 2015, Young Epic in October 2015, Stan Mac in January 2017, Be Like Fritz with whatever fate this is, and D-Frenzy in March 2017. But probably the most notable of these unnotable games was the one played by Benji, where he had nearly no pulls on round 160, and managed to have 3 of the 4 monkeys die without G-spawning. And the gems were just about to disappear before the 4th monkey killed himself, which resulted in an unfortunate G-spawn. Now, it's still possible that he would have G-spawned even with none of the gems from the 3rd monkey on the map, and it's also worth mentioning, why was he even shooting the monkey at the end when there was still gems on the map and he was sitting just fine with his lives and armory? Not that he killed her or anything, but he could have. So that about wraps it up, I guess. If you would like to see more, check out my Twitter page where Zombies World Champs, I'll be there. He's honestly the worst.
The hero respawn, make faith with his darkest fears.